Intel reports Hassan and the cartel forming terrorist cells all over the globe.
We've never seen activity on this scale before.
They have an army. But we have each other.
The world is a vampire.
Locate the prisoners and move them to extraction.
Enemies above. Field charge. Eyes on the hostage.
You're gonna be okay.
Hostage secure.
Sniper, on cover. Decoy!
Gotcha.
Despite all my rage, I am still just renegade.
Airstrike. Take cover!
Do not let them cross the border.
Take him out! Get ready, team. We have never seen a war zone like this.
The world is a vampire.
They're behind us. Shot stick out. Enemy healer. Take out that boat! Check box 6! Check box 6!
I'm on my way.
The world is a vampire.
Pre-order now and get early access to the open beta.
Okay, I already recorded this once, so I want this to work this fucking time. I wasn't using analog audio, so like, all the gameplay was really fucking loud. What's going on, my fellow troops? My name is Xavvo, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm in some Modern Warfare 2019. I'm still grinding the MP7. As you can see, I've got a fuck ton of progress on this Obsidian, so I'm just going to be doing that whilst playing and talking about Modern Warfare 2, because today has been monumental for Call of Duty. They basically had the whole Call of Duty Next event today, and I didn't really sit through most of it because honestly it was ridiculous that they had like 30 minutes of waiting time prior to the actual thing. Like the live event started and it told everyone that it had started at a specific time, and then everyone had to wait another 30 minutes for a timer until the actual thing started. But nevertheless, they had like a whole fucking arena of people sat in there playing the game. Like even fucking Ninja was there apparently, which is pretty weird. I mean, what, Fortnite guy? Why is he even there? I mean, the guy was straight shitting on the game, and he doesn't even fucking play COD. So I mean, that was pretty weird. But nevertheless, they had a bunch of players there, and before they actually announced it, of course, they were talking about the game before they actually showed the players going in and playing on it. But no, it's so crazy. The new game from the trailer based alone, and you've probably seen it at the start of the video, Modern Warfare 2 is going to have third-person feature. This was apparently in the older Modern Warfare 2 or 3, not too sure, you'll have to correct me on that, but it apparently was a feature that people could enable. You'll be able to use it, and when you aim in, it will go back to first person to ADS, but apparently you can enable third person in multiplayer. Now, another thing I saw in the trailer was people dolphin diving. That's apparently making a return to the game. So dolphin diving is essentially just jumping on the fucking floor instead of just getting down and proning, which is a lot slower. You can actually dive onto the floor. to get out of the way of enemy fire, which is really cool. But something that almost gave me PTSD was them showing the gameplay. And now we already knew the MP4 was coming back to this game. Honestly, I don't care if the MP4 is coming into this game. But one of the things that really made me just kind of feel a bit ill to the stomach was one of the characters in the trailer was running with a peeler or a Strela. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the auto lock-on missile launchers. And honestly, I fucking despised those challenges in this game. I absolutely did. I'm probably going to turn the game down. That's probably really loud. But I absolutely despised the choice of bringing back, like, those sort of launchers. Of course, if they're lock-on, they're going to be easier. But my god, I hope they tone down and they learn from Vanguard how they need to operate these launcher challenges. Because, honest to god, if I have to max out a level 50 fucking launcher in this game, I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm from that. And I really don't want to. I want to have fun with this game. I don't want to complain every time they do something. That aside, the new Warzone map, I don't remember what it's called. It's like Al something.
Welcome to Al Mazrah. This is our new map for Warzone 2.0. It is a really interesting mix of geography. It is expansive desert settings with a mix of industrial areas, towns, a city, and of course, water. It looks way better on this screen than it did on Twitter. But you're gonna find a lot of really cool elevation, rocky peaks, caves, subterranean spaces. This map is beautiful, and it's actually the biggest BR map that we've ever made. And I am so excited for all of our streamers here to jump into Al Mazrah later today.
And it basically looks like Blackout and Verdansk had, like, a baby. Like, they mingled. It literally just looks like the Blackout map, but sort of mixed with Vanguard and Caldera. Vanguard? Fucking hell. Verdansk and Caldera. My bad. My English is all over the place trying to film these fucking videos and speaking at the same time. It literally looks really nice. It's very vibrant. The lighting on it's really nice. The quality looks really good, of course, because it's Modern Warfare 2. What can I say? But it just looks really good, and the text looks a lot like Blackout's map from 2018. The first Call of Duty take on a Battle Royale for anyone who didn't play Black Ops 4. Blackout was a good concept, but in practice, it sucked. It was dominated by sweats, and nothing was enjoyable about that. I couldn't even win a fucking game because everyone was sweating on it, and you literally had to search everywhere for ammo and individual attachments and band-aids and shit, and if you didn't have armor by a certain stage of the game, you were screwed because everyone was losing, like, level 3 armor that was completely broken. Obviously, Warzone was the best take on armor, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the best we've seen, so they have that, and a lot of the features look very similar in Warzone 2, almost like copied elements. They just look very similar, and rightfully so. They were very good in Warzone. Why change them? But let's talk about the weapon armory for this game. It looks phenomenal. It doesn't look like 2D anymore. The weapon class looks kind of like 3D. Like, you can almost pan around the weapon in the middle. You'll see a lot of the weapons sort of laid out in the middle inside of, like, the sort of sponge they sit in weapons. You know, when you place them in a case, for example. The attachments are very different now. The way they've sort of improved the attachments for the gun. They've reduced it from 10, which was absolutely ridiculous with Vanguard. I don't know why we had 10 attachments for a damn weapon. But essentially, in this game, there's going to be 3 attachments you can select from the attachment area. And they're also going to have a weapons part area, which is separate to the attachments. Now, honestly, why I didn't think of this before surprises me. I'm surprised none of us thought of this, but it's always been that attachments are just absolutely anything you can change on the weapon. But in this case, weapon parts are like the stock, the barrel, the receiver, you name it, all the important components of a gun. And the attachments are like the optic, the muzzle, the underbarrel, and whatnot. And you can only pick 3 of each. So it's looking like it's going to be a lot more balanced, this weapon class system. Creator class just looks a lot better. Like, it's like an improvement of life. Quality, I guess they say, quality improvement of life, whatever you want to call it. It just looks lots more cleaner, a lot more simplified. But in some elements, it looks more complex. Now, I don't know if all of this was confirmed, but considering some of these top-tier COD gamers were actually there first-hand and witnessed this themselves, I don't think they would be lying about it. I think it was probably Frizzeyes or It's Nick, but they have a GFX artist who replicated in one of their videos probably like a week ago as the creator class as best as they could as they saw it when they played it for themselves in early access. And apparently one of the features was like stocks and other individual attachments having their own customization, where each piece of attachment could have its own different varying sort of details and accuracy. So there was like this chart that looks awfully like the heartbeat sensor or like a pie chart, and essentially you have to drag this little circle in the middle to whichever side you particularly want it to focus more on. So if you want it to be more accustomed to recoil, accuracy, and range and damage, you would do that, but it would have effect on other elements of weapon statistics. So it kind of brings about a balance.
Oh, really?
On the other hand, as well as that sounds like it's going to prevent, you know, metas and people just slapping on 5 attachments and being goated at the game, I think at the same time, it's going to make the metas either really, really oddly specific, or it's going to make it so that players who are new to the game aren't going to have a clue what they're doing. Meanwhile, all the sweats are going to have absolutely full knowledge of the best attachments and what they should be focusing on with statistics, and it just looks like sweats are going to dominate in that regard. But one of the coolest features I saw with the weapon class feature with the new armory is weapons having variants. So if you like level up the weapon and give progress to them, it will give you different unlocks of receivers. If you get a different version of the receiver, you can actually build a completely different custom version of the weapon. So for example, with the M4A1, if you unlock a different type of receiver from leveling it up or doing progression challenges for the weapon, you can make it into an M16 variant, and I think you can also unlock another receiver that makes it into some sort of an LMG or SMG with like a shorter receiver. They're gonna need to keep players around and keep things feeling different and changing all the time instead of people feeling that they're using the same guns and the same metas. So I really respect what they're doing there. You know, in general, the graphics and the swimming that's going to be coming into Warzone and multiplayer, you know, just having swimming will be really cool, especially in campaign. This is the Strela P. This is what I saw in the trailer. This exact launcher, that's making a return, and I don't know how to feel about it. One of the really cool features they're going to have in this Warzone 2 is instead of the circle after the second time, like just going one way, apparently it's going to split into 3. So in part of the game, the circle will split into 3 and it will shrink smaller and smaller, and then towards the end of the game, it will centerize and kind of refocus in the middle again. And then, you know, players will be able to have like a final showdown in the middle. And I think that is going to do a good job of preventing third partying. Instead, it's going to be a lot more harder to predict, and the gameplay is going to probably be slower as a result. Who knows? But it sounds a lot more interesting having the gas split into 3 multiple times instead of having it just go in one circle each time. 2 other really cool things coming to Warzone, which are going to be really interesting, is now they're going to have proximity chats. So I didn't really know what this was. I had to do a bit of research into this because my dumbass has never been familiar with it. I didn't play Among Us. I didn't play other games with proximity chats. What? But essentially, proximity chats is a feature where if you're nearby to a player, it's kind of in the name. When you're within the proximity of another player, basically their voice chat will connect. So you will basically be able to speak to people within your radius or hear other players. So that's going to be so useful for sort of scaring campers out of their places. You know, if they're just sat there in a corner or sat in the fucking upstairs of a building, just being able to shit talk them will be the best feeling ever. Apparently, they're making the return with the whole heartbeat sensor. However, you have to have batteries for it to work. So you've got to collect batteries for it to work over the game. So it will run out of batteries and you have to carry on collecting more.
Hey, you already said that, you fucking retard.
I'm surprised I didn't think of that, but that's going to be so good in combating people just sitting with heartbeat sensors. I'm just so excited for this game, and I'm just glad that Field of View's making a return, of course. We've seen it in Cold War, we've seen it in Vanguard. There's no excuses that it shouldn't make it into this game. We're seeing that with Warzone as well. It's confirmed Warzone 2 is going to have a Field of View slider, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's just going to be good. But on the other hand, they have removed slide cancelling in this game, apparently, so sorry to the TTV players, you won't be able to slide cancel every 5 seconds, bunny hopping and fucking spraying everyone with your meta guns. Wow. Or at least we're going to know who's really good at the game and who's just YYing and slide cancelling to look good. But, you know, it's really going to help balance the gameplay out and make things feel a lot fairer again. So I'm so glad about that, at least, that they're removing slide cancelling. I mean, I've always liked it, and I'm literally doing it as we speak. It needs to say goodbye. It needs to go. It's not useful. And if anything, I'm not going to miss it too much. Considering slide cancelling just gives me fucking, like, muscle strain in my thumbs, I don't think I'm going to miss it too much. I think my thumbs are going to thank me. It's going to thank the game, at least, and the developers. I could go on forever, but honestly, the way the game is looking is fantastic. Now, something I thought was pretty funny that I don't think is going to have much use to it, considering it might be useful in like S&D because it's very Siege inspired, I want to say. But there was a new thing they're adding, which is like a tactical camera or something, which you basically like prop up on the ceiling and it basically could watch where players are. I don't know why the fuck anyone's going to want to use that. It could be of some use in TMZ or Warzone, I guess, if you put it down somewhere and you can see that someone's in a building that you know where it is. That could be pretty cool. But multiplayer, I doubt it's going to be used casually. I feel like it's only going to be useful for like headquarters or perhaps S&D if they bring back headquarters, of course, but I don't know. And we're also having AI. I don't know how that's going to work, if that's going to be in just like TMZ or ground war for multiplayer, but that's going to be an interesting one. Apparently they said that the AI is so advanced now that it can actually interact with you and gain your trust. I don't know what that exactly means, and they can interact to their surroundings, which is really cool. So I'm excited to see how AI is implemented and how, you know, they balance that. Honestly, just having the feeling of Modern Warfare mixed with a fast-paced game in itself is enough to please me.
What do you mean by that?
I get people are really picky these days, and everyone has to find a fucking problem with everything, but I do not give a shit. I will take a moving, fast-paced Modern Warfare game any day of the week over Vanguard, even if it launched with 8 maps. I'm supposing as well they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to add a bunch of camos in. They might have an Obsidian version of a camo in that game, you know, like a special camo, and they probably will have to have seasonal content again just to shut people up, because honestly, people will fall dry of content. You know, all the sweats that unlock camos in like the first 3 weeks. I feel like those people are going to be complaining the most. I don't know how you could complain about lack of content. The game is literally just content itself. It's eyeball candy.
No cap. Oh, God.
I'm getting absolutely annihilated by these fucking idiots that they're actually causing the game to lag. That's kind of crazy. Wow. Wow, okay. Can't wait to hop on the beta, but you know, I am pissed. Fucking PlayStation and their favoritism. I can't wait for this deal. I don't care. I don't know what it entails, but I hope that when Microsoft and Call of Duty collab, I hope this just ends this whole fucking ridiculous favoritism with PS getting everything early. It's ridiculous. I don't want to see this ever again. I just think COD's a bit racist to Xbox and PC, so fuck you, PlayStation. Spit on your grave. Yeah, I'm so disappointed I can't play the beta for another week or so, and everyone else is going to play it and absolutely bust the shit out of it tomorrow, but it is what it is, and hey, I mean, yeah, so I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Thank you, and yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.
It's gone into these
You
vehicles.
forgot the coolest vehicle.
The coolest vehicle?
The massive helicopter that you could fly
Big,
around. It's a
big
big
chopper.
platform.